Greetings all. I'm standing out at the corner of New York, 42nd Street, right near Fifth Avenue. The protest, April 19th. I wanted to just give everyone a little picture of what's happening. I don't know how reliable my connection will be, but appreciate that you're here. Just to make sure that we understand this is a real thing, a real demonstration. It started in Bryant Park on Fifth Avenue and then sort of now turned onto 42nd Street. The crowd is large, some thousands. How many thousands remains to be seen. Estimates are never reliable. It's important to know this is happening. Important to know that there are demonstrations happening in every city, every state in the country. This is part of the movement that has to happen, not only today, not only tomorrow, but for the months ahead, as this regime continues to expand its desecrations, violations of the rule of law and due process, and puts us all at risk, not just migrants, not just a handful of people been in the news, but every American wants due process begin to fade away. So I just want to take this a moment really to underscore the words of Erica Chenoweth, who we around the world that have engaged in collective action, and that the 3.5% of the population is the numbers that are needed to begin to drive change, to demand redress, and to have goals addressed by a government. And in this case, that represents 12 million Americans. I don't think we're there yet. But this crowd should give you a feeling that the feeling is real, the desire for change is real, and the necessity for really working together about building support, building solidarity is critical. Maybe you can share photographs on protests that you've seen in other cities, but let's not doubt that this administration is committed to feasting on the ruins of public liberty, as George Washington warned us in 1796. And the question is, when will 12 million or more Americans decide that change is absolutely critical, and take the streets until that can happen? Right now we can turn to our elected officials and hope that there's enough devotion to the rule of law and free speech and our democracy that they're willing to do their part, but this is not something that we can count on. So that's why it's so important that so many of us, take the time on a Saturday, or as time goes on, on other days, be willing to risk our comfort and our security on a given day to express our commitment to change, and express our commitment to upholding the rule of law and upholding free speech and due process, the basic commitment that this country has always had now for almost 250 years, to be able to achieve a better world. It's very easy for us to believe that this moment is something that we can change, and it's going to be overwhelming, and to doubt our capacity to make a difference. Please don't believe it. Please recognize that our courage and our solidarity and our defiance are the critical things that are needed for us to be able to tell this regime that we're not with it. So, I ask you to do your part, whether it's in the weeks or months ahead. Whether it's participating in a demonstration like this, or whether it's writing to your congressman, or doing the important work in your own neighborhood with your own people when vulnerable populations are at risk, that are in danger. We're at the beginning of this. It's not going to end soon. It's not going to end at the midterm elections. It's something that's going to be ongoing in the years ahead. So we all have to figure out how to, manage our time and our energy and our resources, and make sure that we're in this for the long haul and we see our way through this. Yeah, somebody here says, Mary says, Alexei Navalny says, you're not allowed to give up. Couldn't be more true. Again, let's not doubt. I mean, I don't know what's the event that's going to make the difference, that's going to convince, 12 million Americans that it's time now to take matters into their own hands. I would suggest if we start to see the dismantling of Social Security leading to millions of Americans losing their benefits, that may be one. I think if we see American citizens being held hostage, being kidnapped, being deported, being taken out of our country, moved to a foreign gulag like El Salvador, I think that also should be a moment where Americans say this is enough. So again, I thank you for being here, and again, this is a time not to surrender. This is not a time not to lose confidence or belief, not to despair, not to be resigned, but to believe in our collective power to make a difference. Thank you all.